Hi, my name is Brian O'Sullivan, and I am with the Engineering Systems School and Training Center Yorktown. This video will cover the maintenance procedure for replacing the RCS5 controller and downloading the associated software on the 87-foot coastal patrol boat. This video is for training purposes only, and if you're conducting this procedure in the fleet, you should use the maintenance procedure card that is associated with this procedure. Before we start, let's cover the tools you would need. First, you will need the RCS5 controller. You will need a Phillips head screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, and the BDM tool, backup data module, that will be needed for downloading the software. You will also need the associated memory modules, mem cards that you will find on the ship for the software download. Okay, let's get started. Remove the 4 screws from the connection box. That will allow you to remove the connection box from the bottom of the RCS5 controller. Remove the connection box from the back of the RCS controller. Accessing the connection box cover printed circuit board. Pull the ribbon connection latches outward, removing the ribbon connection from the printed circuit board. Then you'll pull one 2-wire connection from the printed circuit board to the RCS5 controller, essentially disconnecting the RCS5 controller electrically from the connection box. To connect the RCS5 controller electrically, you'll align the ribbon connector from the RCS5 controller to the ribbon connection on the printed circuit board. Gently push the ribbon connector into the connection until the latches engage the ribbon connector. Ensure that it's seated firmly and the latches have closed. Next, you will plug the 2-wire connector into the printed circuit board, ensuring that all 4 prongs have attached to the wire connector. The next step is to install the connection box to the bottom of the RCS5 controller. Install 4 screws through the connection box into the RCS5 controller. Now that the RCS5 controller has been reassembled, we are ready to install it into the control stand. For training purposes, we are using our training control stand here in the lab. On board ship, to reinstall it, you would follow the associated NPC to install the RCS5 controller. Remove the upper housing from your backup data module, allowing you to access the MPU24 printed circuit board. Next, you will access the memory module container, removing your PPS MEM501. Install the MEM501 into slot IC32 in your backup data module, aligning the memory module and pushing firmly, ensuring not to bend any pins. Next, you'll access the port or starboard side MEM501, installing it into slot IC23 in your backup data module. Again, align the memory module and push firmly, ensuring not to bend any pins. Your PPS MEM501, which is inserted in slot IC32, is the program memory module that incorporates the software which allows for a BDM function. Depending on which side you're working on, starboard or port, the memory module 501 will be installed in IC23. That contains plant and engine specific data and is required to ensure proper software is downloaded. Before we can install software, we must ensure that the correct node address is set on the ROS. Press the center 2 buttons and energize power. The ROS will cycle through power up and will initially display the bus configuration page. On this page is where we can adjust the node address and the baud rate for the particular ROS. You must have the node address and baud rates from the analog text file prior to proceeding. Ensure you have the correct node address for CAN 1 and 2, the correct baud rate, and the correct node address for CAN 3. Once the correct node addresses have been entered, you can hit enter, and then finally hitting the information button to ensure that the node address is set. Remove the plug from the connection port on the RCS5 controller. This is where we will insert the BDM cable plug into the RCS5 controller connection port. Ensure that you have the RCS5 controller connection port tabs and the BDM cable plug tab lined up prior to installation. Hand tighten the securing bushing of the BDM cable plug into the RCS5 controller connection port. Next, we will connect the X3 connector to the CAN bus connection port on the BDM tool. Notice 81, 82, 83 on your connection port corresponds with the X3 connector. The other 2 connectors on your BDM tool are not used for this process. Lastly, we have the X2 connector, which is your 24-volt input into your BDM tool. Do not install this plug until power has been energized. Energize the MTU system. Once the MTU system has energized, then you can install the X2 connector into your BDM tool, providing power to your BDM tool. X3 connector, which has 81, 82, 83, is for your CAN bus interface. Your X2 connector, which is 21 and 22, is your 24 volt input power to your BDM tool. Your other two connection ports, 71, 72, 73, and 61 and 62, are not used for this particular procedure. Now that power has been applied to the backup data module, let's discuss some of the indicators that you may see. The first green indicator, LED, indicates that power has been applied to your backup data module. The indicators on the back of the MPU24, the green, ready for operation. The red indicates reset active, yellow is a RAM error. Your next yellow is OS 9 operating system started. The yellow after that is download finished, and the last yellow is download has started. Now we can focus on our display screen on the RCS5 to discuss some of the software that's being downloaded. When the operating voltage is switched on, the initial program loader in the control lever panel first checks consistency of ROS communication parameters on your CAN buses. If the node number which you had previously set is valid or confirmed, the initial program loader continues checking the system software, and the system software download page, as you see on the screen, will appear on the LCD of the control lever panel. The initial program loader will check if the software system is okay. Once the system software download has been completed and the system software is deemed to be okay, the system software download page disappears after a short time and the project data download page appears. The system software now checks whether the configuration data are valid. If necessary, data is automatically reloaded from the BDM tool. When the configuration data has been downloaded and is valid, the system software checks consistency of the node numbers on the process bus. When this test has been successfully completed, the project data download page disappears and the overview page appears on the LCD. If the download was satisfactory, the screen indicates the engine RPM. The screen will indicate the reduction gear is engaged or disengaged, and the screen will indicate local control. If all three indicators are seen on the screen, you have successfully downloaded the software onto your RCS5 controller and you're ready to test operation of the plant.